Okay, hello, dear friends. Good afternoon. Such a beautiful, beautiful afternoon. So this weekend, I went to Palo Alto Museum, and this museum is called Museum of American Heritage. It's a local small museum. I think it's in one person's house, and an old house. They preserved it. You saw some people there, and they have a Sunday afternoon repair garage. And the repair garage, I think it's people bring their old electric appliances and old bicycles, old radio recorder, and old machinery, sewing machine, and some volunteers to prepare it, to repair it. And it's such a fun and interesting community community event. I went to the museum inside, and this very nice lady would like to allow me to take video, and she was so kind, and it touched my heart profoundly to see someone so nice, so kind, and eager to share. I was thinking, at this age, I should not bother her. I should just watch and walk around by myself. But she was so kind, and I think the best thing is to listen to her and let her share her passion.
This was obviously a work area where you can make a pie.
Oh.
And this is probably a cherry pitter.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, yeah. And then further on back, in the very back of the house, there's a contraption that is an apple peeler. Oh. It's this big and this tall. I think, where's my paring knife? I can do that more easily, but I guess if you had a lot of them, it might help. And this is a speaking tube that would go up to the upstairs bedroom, so the lady of the house could say, "Oh, please bring me a cup of tea to my bedroom," and the maid would take it up.
Take it up.
Yeah.
Bring up my cup of tea. That's the oven. Gas oven.
Yeah, that stove is gas, but it also had wood.
Oh.
And here's one of those compartments that you put wood in, and sometimes the gas service would fail for one reason or another, and so it's very handy to have that. And of course, this is a waffle maker. That's the oven. And I think these two are storage areas, although this could be a warming oven.
Yes.
Yeah. And next we have the refrigeration, and house was built in 1907, and so undoubtedly they would have had an icebox.
Oh.
And this one, a man would come about twice a week and put in a big block of ice, and of course it would melt, and there's a bucket down there, and they could just open that door and throw it out on the grass. a reuse for it and not have to have the plumbing to pipe it out. So, but both this one and the one over here have very thick walls. And of course that's the electrical unit that runs it. And it could both make ice cubes and it could keep ice cream. And that one could not. No. And so we don't know if this was part of the original house or whether it was built a little later. It was a medical doctor, and this was his lab. He could take blood samples and run them and check on people. And he had an office that, in fact, he owned an office building downtown where he had his office, but Palo Alto had a hospital, but it didn't have one staffed with a doctor over the weekend. So if you broke your legs, you came right here to the doctor's house and he could take care of you. Yeah, which was just wonderful. And these things are not medical devices. They're part of the Bayer collection, and that's an old-time family here in Palo Alto, and so they had lots of good stuff.
It's fun.
But it was more egg beaters and so forth. And this is an apple peeler.
That is.
Who knew? Who knew you need that much? But we did have lots of orchards around, and so I guess they had fruit that needed peeling, and so this one makes crumbs. Big, heavy thing. But you would put your dry breadcrumbs in pieces, and it would come out with nice crumbs. You could put on chicken, fried chicken, or a crumb cake, which is more like a pie, but it had crumbs in with the cherries or whatever. And this is an optometrist tool. And this was the doctor's office, files for his patients and that kind of thing. And then patients could come in this door right from the street. There's a path. You may have noticed a door out there. And so that was the waiting room, but we've turned it into a playroom for kids. And although there is an old sewing machine, a treadle sewing machine, it didn't have to have, it didn't plug in.
No.
No.
We used to use it.
Then an adding machine and a typewriter over here, and the children come in and look at this and say, oh, it has all the letters like my computer, but where's the screen? Well, anyway, and that's a good thing for kids to see, that you push something and something else happens. Yes, so that you know, it's not by magic that things happen. There's a connection of some kind that has to get made. And let's see, did I show you Dr. Williams? This is Dr. Williams in his Stanford. Oh. He was on Stanford's first football team. Oh. And of course Stanford was a new university, had all that land out there, and so they just picked a place, I think it was about the corner of Embarcadero and El Camino, and scraped it off and played football on it. But Dr. Williams and his friend said, oh, you could scrape off all those roots, put in good soil and good grass, and as far as I know, that's still the stadium out there. They've changed all the seating.
Oh, that is the
several
place.
Times.
Yes.
Yeah.
Stadium. Yes.
And this was his wife. Dr. Williams was quite a bicyclist, so he rode to Santa Barbara and asked the parents of Dora, who became his wife, their permission for her to marry him, because that was the custom. That was the proper way you did that. And he didn't have a car at that point, so he had to ride his bike. This is not the first car in town, but a very early car. And that's one of the daughters sitting in the seat. And we think that must have been about 1909 or so, because that's about the time the garage was built. And he, by the way, he had to provide his own gas pump. There was no Arco station or Shell station. No, so he had one right up there. And this picture is University Avenue in Palo Alto.
Wow.
And it was basically 1- and 2-story buildings. So when the big quake hit San Francisco, of course San Francisco was just left a shambles.
Yes.
But because these were all wooden buildings, they just shook. It was the cement, the stone, the brick buildings that took the damage. And so actually some people from San Francisco came down and stayed here, just with different families. This was just after the earthquake out on the Stanford campus. And they knew enough about earthquakes to know that there were aftershocks. And so they said, we better put our students out in tents.
Yes.
And so basically...
So, unfortunately, just at this time, our dialogue was disrupted by someone coming in and asking something. And at the same time, I need to do something else, so I left. But I find this place so interesting. And although Palo Alto is becoming such an expensive, such an affluent place, but there is something old, something profound, something so small, so tiny, and that is our root. No matter how big later on we develop into, we should not forget our humble beginning. I love you, I really do. Bye-bye, friends. Do, 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 do. Bye bye, friends.